Redox here for Tac SHAC Tactical TV. We're here in the range again. Hopefully the sound is better this time. I think Hannah said he sorted it out. And sorry that we're a little bit late. I've just got some primers in and there's been a run for primers for the last couple of hours.
Yeah.
In any case, so we're going to repeat some of last week's topics that...
Apparently because the sound is apparently quite bad.
And
I could hear perfectly.
I wanted to say hello to Monty, but she's still shooting in Stilfontein. Hi,
she's shooting the Northwest League in Stilfontein this morning, so obviously so they're a little bit late in getting back.
Yeah.
She hopes to be back. She apologises.
Yeah. So, any case, let's talk about the golf charity event that's happening on the 13th of June at Reinsig. Please guys, it's a Thursday, but I really need some players. So if you play golf and you can get a 4-baller together for 4,000 rands, so it's 1,000 rands per person. There's some awesome prizes. The longest drive is going to have an AK from ourselves, from Tac SHAC. If you don't have self-loading rifle competency, I will throw that in from myself as well. From GOSA'S side, gold membership, as well as a motivation. So it's an absolute happy package. Absolutely very nice package. Johnson's Workwear is sponsoring some vouchers, really nice vouchers for closest to the pin. I think there's 2 of those. There's other prizes for getaways in, I think it's in Hackworth, and all kinds of other really nice prizes. So please, if you do play golf, please come and support us. All of the money is going to go towards the Top Shot for this year. We just need extra money. So we can actually move on to Top Shot. The date is the 1st of September. It is a Sunday. We are not having it at Wattle Springs. We're going to have it at my home range, our home range, JMPD, Joburg Metro Range in Roodepoort. Or Cecil Payne.
The Cecil Payne
range.
National Shooting Range.
So it's actually looking really good right now. The grass is nicely cut. We're going to have some awesome stages as usual. I'll probably open in the 2nd week of June. I'll open registrations for the event. If you have sponsorship as well for that, please let me know. And then also in line with that, at the Top Shot every year we have a Christa Swart Fighting Spirit Award. We usually give that out. We've got an absolutely awesome panel this year. We've got Paul.
Of course.
We've got Nikki from ITA, Gerard Labaskachny, the profiler. We've got Histal van Staren, which is Blood as a Voice and Autopsy. We have somebody from Frank Global, that's been a great supporter of us for a long time. Who else? There is just Karina Kutsia, which is a senior prosecutor.
With the NPA?
With the NPA, and she deals in sexual crimes and human trafficking. We have just an absolutely, in Tamsin, my other director that's sitting in Ireland. We just have an absolutely awesome panel that will decide, and we've already got about 7 people that's been nominated. So if you're
still looking for some more nominees?
Absolutely. So if you know somebody, please can you send me a mail to just girlsonfire@gosa.co.za. And that's me. Now I can sit back and listen to you.
Okay, so what it's a pity Monty isn't here, because Monty's been the driving force behind this. We've started a process where Monty and Hannes, our cameraman who moonlights as our social media guy, literally, because he typically works at 10 o'clock at night on this. But anyway, they've been working on, we've been looking at, people seem to think that GOSA's just there for when the pawpaw hits the fan. No, GOSA's not. GOSA's so much more than that. You know, the legal services that we provide, apart from being the cheapest and most effective on the market by far, that's really not what we're here for. What we're really here for is to drive the political narrative into our direction. So we've developed a couple of posters for that, which we've been posting on the Facebook group, and Hannes is going to put them up right now so that you can see them. This is one, and this is who and what is GOSA, what can we do for you, and how you can help us to help you. And I'm just going to read through this briefly because there's membership details at the bottom. GOSA is the premier firearm rights group in the Republic of South Africa. So we believe in the concept of firearm rights. The police or the politicians or Gun-Free South Africa has long been holding out that we don't have a right to own a firearm in South Africa.
That's a privilege.
And they say it's a privilege, not a right. And we have a different view on that. In terms of our view of things, our rights we have rights to certain things as a result of being born. Those are called natural rights. You have a natural right to life. And part of the natural right to life is the right to defend that life. And the ability to defend that life relies upon having the means at your disposal to most effectively accomplish that. And there's no doubt that firearms, personal firearms, civilian firearms, are pivotal in that defense of your right to life. So we believe we have an implicit right, which is an intrinsic right, something which is built into the concept of protecting your own life. We have an intrinsic right to own the means to defend ourselves. Whether that's specifically a firearm or whether it's going to be a ray gun in the next 20, 30 years, I don't know. But we have the right to the most effective means to defend ourselves. Regardless of what the government may say and what politicians may say and what Gun-Free South Africa says, that's all a lot of absolute bullshit. Don't ignore that. Happily ignore it. In any case, as a non-profit organization, a non-profit company, your membership fees and donations fund our fight on your behalf to preserve and entrench firearm rights in the Republic of South Africa. We directly represent you in your firearm rights in parliamentary portfolio committees. We support the right to bear arms for all responsible and law-abiding citizens. We don't care what it's for. We're not bound up in the hunting versus sport shooting debate. That's not for us. We're about the person and the gun. That's it. We start and end there. So that's the one poster, just telling you who we are and what we do. The other one is our vision and mission, and it's also got the membership information at the bottom. Our mission and our vision is to represent all firearm owners regardless of age, gender, race, income, political affiliation or profession. So the fascinating thing about GOSA, and this is entirely unique in South Africa, no other organization can even hope to brag of this, is that more than 80% of GOSA's members, of our 125,000 odd members, more than 80% of those are black. Now that might sound like it doesn't mean much, but it actually means a hell of a lot. It means that we're representative of the proper demographic in South Africa, the true demographic. We're not a bunch of guys that's holding out for the old order or whatever, because we recognize that every armed citizen in this country is part of all of our safety.
Our tribe.
They're our tribe.
Yep.
Yeah? Ons kyk se mense. Anyway, and our vision is to fight for rational firearm legislation. We understand, look, there's some guys that say, no, we shouldn't have any firearm legislation. It's all an infringement on our rights, blah, blah. Yes, you're probably right. However, we live in the real world. And in the real world, we have firearms legislation, and we have to deal with it. And it's better if the politicians aren't trying to hurt us than if they are trying to hurt us. So we will work towards repealing those parts of the legislation which are offensive to us and which we can't work with. But our idea is to rather have a firearms
Excuse me.
Oh, bless you. Firearms legislation regime which is beneficial to us, which helps us. We want to foster a culture of responsible firearm ownership nationwide. So that's our quid pro quo to the government. They let us have our firearms, and we'll be reasonable and responsible firearm owners. We'll help.
A contract, a social contract.
It's a social contract. We'll help to educate civilians about firearm ownership. We'll help to educate children about firearm safety, which is where our whole Gun Buddies program comes from. Pretty much the whole of the Girls on Fire is a women's empowerment initiative of broad scope. So it's our part of being responsible social citizens in South Africa is to keep our end up, to encourage people not to run around like hooligans because it hurts us all. And to build and maintain relationships with everyone that supports this principle of civilian firearm ownership. We've been working with a couple of political parties ahead of the next week's elections, guys. Stem reg, nee? And we've been working with a couple of them, and we want to get every firearm. Last elections, I think there was one party that was claiming to support firearm ownership. This year, there's a number. There's the ACDP, there's the Freedom Front Plus, so from vastly different perspectives, but there's the OHM, which is interesting. So they contact us, I write back to them and say to them, well, you don't think there's going to be a little bit of resistance to that, do you? Turns out, so OHM, of course, OHM is the unit of resistance. So it turns out that they actually were one joke ahead of me. They actually named the movement the O movement because they're the element of resistance. And they had to figure out later what OHM meant, which is how they came to organic health movement or something like that. But they are incredibly pro-firearm. And they've got a real shot at getting 1, maybe 2 seats. And that can also help, because the more voices we have fighting for us in Parliament, the better.
Absolutely.
And they're young people, which is fantastic, because we are all just caretakers of the country for the youth. It's the young people that are going to have to live in the country that we decide to build or break down as we move forward now. Guys, please vote. I really don't care who you vote. Okay, I do, but it doesn't really matter as long as the public is heard. We'll go along with whichever government is elected is the elected government. We won't like a certain bunch in KZN at the moment that are busy blocking the highways and burning shit and threatening people and promising to do a lot worse. That's not democracy, guys. Democracy is choosing a leader, and then everybody that lost falls in line behind the guys that won. And that's how we've got to move it forward. If we want to move this country forward, we've got to play the game. Yeah. If you don't play the game, if you don't have a say, if you prevent yourself from having a say, you're part of the problem, you're not part of the solution. Yeah. Guys, vote.
Are you done?
Yes.
So I just want to say we have an introduction to handguns tomorrow at Cecil Payne,
40 ladies.
40 ladies. It's going to be an amazing day. It's sort of obviously very full right now. We have our next one after this will be the 27th of July, just before the 1st of September, and then I think there's one in November again. But if you want to just come and have a look at what we do, we have a classroom session where we go through situational awareness and concealed carry and your legal requirements for using lethal force, all of those type of things. And then we go on to the range, and tomorrow we are going to shoot 6 different guns, different size guns. So got lots of my capable range officer ladies there, so it's going to be an awesome day. I also want to give a shout out to Pangolin Safes. They are providing us free refreshments. So thank you very much to Pangolin Safes. Anyway, and that is it. So we have to go and finish preparing for tomorrow, Hannes? Anyway, so enjoy your weekend. I'll see you next week.
Guys, just be safe, vote safe.
Yeah. Is he licking the legs again?